thank you so much, everybody, for coming, and thank you for having me. Thank you to Pamenar for publishing this kind of behemoth. And thank you to my other, my fellow wonderful readers as well. It's very difficult to follow you, but it's an honour to be with you. So, this is Wild Talents. It's on page 31 for those who want to read along under the mountain book. And it starts with a quote from Charles Hoy Fraught, the well-known researcher into anomalous phenomena. And he says, in his infinite wisdom, "There is no man who is without the hyena element in his composition. And there is no hyena that is not at least rudimentarily human." On the day of your death, I became a striped hyena, hysteria's lank technician, cursorial man-eater witch's mount. I ran filiform punk with my mane of stale thistles over Primrose Hill, across Blackheath to gnaw the shin bones of monuments, dragging my afflicted eye through the cagey manners of Frasers and Richardsons, each lesser cray. London's twitchy slang bloomed under me. I was not afraid, animal abandoned to its instincts, slouching down the twisting Venel steps to lick the yeast of my misdeeds. I tore your bleakest manor into strips, left penance of its dark meat snagged on the late Victorian railings. In cemeteries, I scorned inscriptions, wiped my hazy scent all over. I was the fur atlas of my loss, and the yellow grass grew sharp where it rubbed on me. Your heart's varmint, darling of the solvent heart, weaving the obstinate dusk into silent film. Starry cuss. I did not sleep, but lay, panting on a raft of trash, the cereal bedwetter's flammable mattress, Saturday magazines still in their cellophane, empire mine, my hackles and the full flag of this failed state flea bit. The day after your death, when they found me, Hope's wraith white of the road's wide middle, I think I was running, I think I'd been dreaming, and I was the starkest hound of my spirit, gargoyle against this human bruise. So they're all a bit hyena. This called Segura also begins with a quote not from Charles Hoy Fraught, you'll all be desperately disappointed to hear. It's on page 27. "Is my heritage to me like a hyena's lair? Go assemble all the wild beasts, bring them to devour." Jeremiah 12:9. Thus, circumstances compelled me to tell you, you know jack shit about hyenas, dear. This, for instance, hyena is not an animal, but an edge. Where grief has its house, her wetted territories sing. The opposite of pleasure is not pain. Hyena does not dig the dead from their graves, but where bodies meet the sun halfway, she is the war's mute treasurer. She has carried away our loss in moist parcels with an extremity of tenderness. Draw around a sleeping dog with chalk, turn away and count to 10, hyena will rise. Patroness of feral misgivings, her several habitats are as follows: Lebanon, Versailles, the Falls Road, Honor Oak after a storm. That which you call her pelt, her overalls, that which you call her mane, her crown. Twopenny crones prefer the sleek indifference of felines. Hyena has her own raving spectrum, mascot of ruder perversions. It is a militant witch indeed, who rides the long night into Rorschach nose, buried in her sweating neck. In the mid-1970s, radical lesbian separatists hoisted her face like a flag over pool halls and dive bars. In the late 1990s, her loping form was sighted in a comet's spitting tail. It is said that if you see a hyena in your dreams, you will die a violent death, and this is true. However, hyena is not harbinger but prophet. Some people simply will not be told. In Guadalupe, her image appeared within a black mission fig, and similar visions have been reported in the South Hebron Hills near Susia. To find the image of hyena in a piece of fruit is to be brought not luck but fortitude. Within the true ecologies of loss, hyena is the undisputed meta lacrimarum or third mother. Her signature maneuver is the plunge, sharp silhouetted corsair crossing any booking sea. The night revolves around her, and didn't I tell you that all hyenas are female, that is, all hyenas are pirates. Hyena, our funerary renegade, is a poltergeist in a hair shirt. Where taxonomists say the hyena is closer to the cat than the dog, it is our stated position that hyena is closer to a baby grand piano, to an alchemy safe in free fall, to a typewriter thrown from a hotel window. And dearest, hyena is nearly extinct. To become a hyena is to live without captains or champions, to tarry packless in dangerous places, sectarian rep grounds, hospital corridors. Hyenas love well, but not often. There's a fine line between woo and woe, what you do to impress you, a million pitchy costumes. Hyenas are prized for the aphrodisiac qualities of their hindsight. Men have been grinding their bones to powder for centuries, poor fools. Hyena's power is not in her marrow, but in the near miraculous knack of her cherishing. She has been known to sit vigil for 800 years. Hyenas have no proverbs, only poetry. That which you cruelly describe as howling is, in point of fact, the end of a song you persist in mishearing. Blatant wassail, karaoke, how sorrow is ground like a coarse blue lens. Hyena in her human form attends funeral. This one's on page 35. There was, of course, his mimsy girl, apt witch with her spread of gossamer divines, no me. Or again the brilliant friend, her dear face caught like a wasp in a cobweb. Boys with staunch lusts middled into anecdote, eminent dressers, all eyes drawn into the orbit of their wardrobes. There were smugglers of honey, doomed ones lost in the errand of their jeopardy. I was not afraid. Beneath their clothes, their pink like links of sausage. Look away, look again. In the albanizing light before the storm, I'm there, smelling of creosote and spent pleasure. Striped sardonicus writhing in the grim heat of my rictus jeans. I am always there, jaw-jacked and bleakly glitching. A baddie's cackle, the zip on a vampire's dress drawn down at zinging speed. My laugh, my lips ripped back to their satin lining. This deviant scene, when change artists, neither cat nor dog, but oh, I've hung his name from my mouth in mid shreds. This tongue of flag I flung from limned ramparts. Sweet girls he had, who filed their teeth and took their meds. Me, convulsing and whooping without joy. Look again, look away, look again. I've turned my face to the wall. So yeah, this is called Striped Hyena's Laugh. It's on page 37. These are interminable, but they will be over soon, so hang tight. You're wrong, of course. It does exist. Hyena deals in secrets, not in spectacles, won't show it to just anyone. You do not know what laughter is. The dream of a forest reduced to fidgets and to fragrance, a long, giddy falsetto stunt, the gimme motto of her colleagues, no. Hyena's laugh is a fisher of limits, will twist her honeyed energies toward the keenest edge, the feculent mouth ploughed up. You mistake the geckering of telemarketers, all those toothy musketeers, for laughter. What you call laughter is the frictionless pigeon of amateurs. It is ordered online and it ships worldwide in sealed-aired baggies, stagnant and extrovert. Hyena's laugh is the night condensed inside hard blue marble. Yours is maverick toadwork, a minister of state smarming in a headlock. It is a trick stomach, a gimmicked sleeve. Hyena laughs but rarely. Her laughter is not summoned, it is swift and mute as vengeance, never conjured up by pratfalls, cocktail, pungent junglebud, by ridicule or tickle. Her laughter is nocturnal, skunk bulk gliding through underground cities, toting its prole melody. Hyena's laugh is not the rubberized whoopee of expelled air. This sudden glitch in her sloping form as she dips beneath the yard arm is often silent, a kind of presto, a kind of splayed cadabra. In its sudden flux, she has been known to turn textile, become a rush mat flattened out for welcome. It has its citric hiss, its cynic frailty, dark adjuncts, but most of all, it is a kind of brackish hymn sung under the breath. No, it is not a chorus for skeletons and predators. It does not belong to your world of crocs and spoils the tottering succor of cities, arts council funding. It is not a meat prescription, a kind of gargoyle propaganda. It is a subtle electricity, and you are its object, like history. Its origin is asking. Hyena will never laugh for you, will let out her luscious amen to the wind alone. You do not know what laughter is. Hysterical triage, the gremlin usury of femi-blonde snob music, licking a drink. Oh no, a laugh is a windfall of wild peaches, a wayward nature tuned toward mercy. Aren't you pleased to hear this is the last one?
No, we're not pleased to hear.
Furious! This is called Hyena Q&A, dedicated to God knows she's sitting over there. This is her favourite hyena poem. And there are fucking hundreds of hyena poems. So I should say that Hyena Cycle, so this is like one book. Hyena Cycle is nearly 4 books long, so it just keeps happening, and I thought it would stop, but it didn't. And it hasn't, so she's with us yet. In fact, I don't think very much of Fran exists anymore. It's basically all hyena now, which is a little bit concerning. Trickster feminism. Why have I written that? I don't know. Anyway, okay. Question. And what's it like being a hyena? It is like trembling its traces all across the splendid belly of the night. It is ecstatic and mechanical, a kind of sanguinary prickling to be made spectral with adrenaline to stream raw light through your fibre optic veins. It is holding the ice of his name in my mouth until it cools. Until, it thaws. Question. How has being a hyena affected your employment prospects? Imagine having a club foot, except it isn't your foot, it's your whole body. Imagine a woman's face eaten away by radiation. That's how people look at you. A cheesy 50s pin-up, her thighs tempered with ugly, ragged holes. Question. But do you work? I practice walking upright. I type with a hollow wand between my teeth, a tango dancer's wilting rose. Question. Have hyenas many friends? Spotted hyenas travel in packs like non-league football supporters. A strand wolf is rarer. Androgynous thicket, a sweating maze of hair. A strand wolf forms a band in college, is sad, stratospheric and doomed, likes to be looked at, never touched. The striped hyena is not musical. will wear a big ass garland of garlic bulbs to keep at bay all vampires. Question. Vampires? The opposite of hyena is not human. The opposite of hyena is vampire. Question. Does a hyena ever take a lover? Thistles are not thorns. There is no thorn soup, just as there is no hyena love. Sex is a wet ghost, solicitous and pitiful, his thin mouth open like the meekest wound. There was a sweetheart once, exemplary gelatin, the sugared holes of her haunches dissolved in milky tea. What kind of answer is that? What would you have me say? There were dauntless boys, doubly gone, and a girl who spoke in maudlin strophes the briny savour of suicide. A hyena bears her own irreparable duty. A hyena is both the Jonah and the Bob. Question. Are you trying to tell me something? Yes, like sample. Question. Are all hyenas lesbians? Some people have a way of saying lesbian, like a foot being stamped at a children's party. Your eyes are the most indiscriminate blue, like the faulty jizzing flames of an electrical fire. I do not desire you, I do not desire neither grunt and thrust nor coax and yearn. Picture Valerie Solarna swooning in a field of wheat. Yeah, can you? There is no either. Question. Does hyena know when she will die? Yes, and the grime of twilight fermenting a requiem among the rotten apples. They will build a shrine to me beside Camden Canal, but it will be inaccessible except by kayak. On the third day of my death, I will perform my first miracle. Question. Does it bother you that you are such a tiresome person? On my way here, a line of gaunt yellow flowers, my crude little comrades who fizz with wiry life. Do they give a shit that people think they're weeds? Question. But are you really a hyena? Oh, I have rubbed myself along the surface of the world. Extinction is a call sewn into my belly and put it there on purpose. Hyena is a punchline in search of a job. Thank you.